Hello friends, welcome back to our course Mechanics of Solid. In last class, lecture number 3, we solved some numerical problem. In lecture number 1 and 2, we discussed different theory topic. So if you want theory of this lecture, you can see lecture number 1 and 2 in description. And today, we will solve some numerical problem once again. Read the question first. This question: a specimen of steel 20 mm diameter given us, okay, with gauge length of 200 mm, okay, length given us, is tested to destruction. It has extension of 0.25 mm under the load of 80 kN. Del is 8, load 80 kN, okay. At elastic limit, load is P at elastic limit is 102 kN. The maximum load is ultimate load, you can see P ultimate load is 130 kN. The total extension at fracture is 56 mm. Total del, okay, during fracture. Diameter at the, you can say total, or you write del max, that's better. Diameter at neck is diameter during neck, after neck, 15 mm, okay. Find the stress at elastic limit. We need to find out stress, okay. Young's modulus, okay. Percentage of elongation, okay. Okay. First of all, write given data, okay. Diameter, length, extension at 80 kN, okay. This extension. Load elastic here at elastic limit, P elastic, you can say. Maximum load, total extension at fracture, del maximum, this one, diameter at neck, like that. So first we need to find out stress at elastic limit. We know that stress equal to load divided by area, one formula. Second, we know that stress equal to epsilon E. These two formula we know, okay, which we can use here. We can use the first one to find out, okay. Second formula, we need to find out Young's modulus. We use this second one, Young's modulus equal to sigma by E, but we need to find out E. That time here better you write sigma equal to load divided by area into del by L. To find out Young's modulus, we require epsilon. To find out epsilon, we require del. Del is given us here 0.25 mm under load of 80 kN. So here use 0.25. This should be 80 kN. Okay. Length same, area no problem. Third one asking percentage of elongation. So del max divided by actual length into 100%. In percentage you will get like that. Fourth number asking percentage reduction in area. So area final minus area initial area divided by initial area into 100, you get percentage. Final area, how we can find out? To find out final area, you can use diameter at neck, okay. Diameter at neck you can use to find out a final area. Then we need to find out ultimate tensile stress. Further you can use ultimate load, okay. Ultimate load or maximum load divided by area. Simply you can find out. Let's solve the problem. This is theory how we can solve. Now we will solve the problem. Okay. First we require diameter, so we find out diameter. Stressed elastic limit, loaded elastic limit in divided by area. Loaded elastic limit is given us here. This one, no, I said. Percentage elongation, final extension to 200%. Like that you should write. Okay. Complete. Next, we need to find out percentage reduction in area. This will be in percentage. 43.75. Okay. If you use final area minus initial area, you will get increase in area. If you are using reduction in area, that time you can write initial area minus final area. Okay, no problem. That is not a problem. So this problem complete. Here ultimate stress, ultimate load divided by area. Which area we are using? Initial area. Okay, you can see which area we are using. Initial area. Let's solve second problem. This problem is regarding volumetric strain. So here question is given us a metallic bar 300 mm into 100 mm into 40 mm is subjected to a force of 5 kN tensile, 6 kN tensile, 4 kN tensile along x, y and z direction respectively. Okay. This is given us. So volume given us. Okay. To determine the change in volume of block, E value given us, Young's modulus, Poisson ratio given us mu. First draw the diagram. Based on the question, first requirement is we should draw the diagram. Here 310, 140. We draw the diagram, a block. Okay. Load is saying 5 kN in x axis. If this is x, y, z, in x axis 5 kN, y axis this on y, okay, 6 kN, z axis 4 kN. Picture complete. Let's write given data. Dimension of the bar, okay, x, y, z. Volume equal to x, y into z. X into y into z. Okay, we got volume. Load in x axis, it's given in kilonewton, so first convert in newton. In y direction 6 kilonewton, so 6000 newton. Z direction 4 kilonewton, 4000 newton. Okay. E value, Young's modulus, mu value, all are given. Let's solve the problem. For volumetric strain, we know the one formula, EV, or some book you will find out EV or some places EV like that. Okay, no, that is not a problem. Equal to epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z. This simple formula. If you want formulation, derivation of this one for volumetric strain, you can read lecture number 2. I clearly explained how we can find out volumetric strain. This formula, to find out Ex, Ey and Ez, we require first sigma x, sigma y and sigma z. So first of all we will find out sigma x, sigma y and sigma z. Then we will find out volumetric strain. Okay. Stress in x direction equal to load in x direction divided by area in x direction or cross section area, you can say, that is y into z. How y into z? In this figure, if this is on axis, so this is y into z. This will be sigma x, this will be sigma y, this will be here, this side will be sigma z. This is px, py, pz. we got sigma x. Okay, next find out sigma y. Similar to that, load in y dash divided by area will be x into z because we are finding sigma y. From that we got sigma y. Similar to that, we can find out sigma z. After finding sigma z, we have formula for volumetric strength, this one. This is came from this only. I told no, sigma x plus sigma y plus. For full derivation, you can see lecture number 2. I will give the description of lecture number 2 in bottom. You can see in description. Okay. So this is formula which we need to use. Better you remember this one. Try to remember. If sigma x equal to sigma y equal to sigma z, that time this formula may be 3 sigma divided by E 1 minus 2 mu. But here sigma x, sigma y, sigma z all are different. So we will use this one only. We already calculated sigma x, sigma y and sigma z. From that we can find out this is volumetric strength. Okay, we can find out volumetric strength because E value known, mu value, E known value. Okay, these two are known. So find out volumetric strength. Okay, after that this one is V by V. From that we find out dV, volume already calculated. Okay, up to here complete. Volumetric we found. Now second question. In this question there is something different. Okay, this is 100, this is 1. Okay, a metallic bar of 250 mm into 100 mm into 50 mm is loaded as shown in figure. Figure is given like this. Okay, find the change in volume. Take E equal to this one. Okay, we find out E value given us, mu value given us. Also find the change that should be made in 4 meganewton load in order that there should be no change in volume of bar. Question is saying, first one clear, second one saying we need to find out value of this load, how much that will be this load in place of 4 meganewton. We need to change that value. Due to that, volumetric strength will be 0. Okay, first solve first part. First of all, write given data similar to previous question, but here one load is compressive. Please note down, one is compressive. Sigma x we can find out tensile, sigma y tensile, sigma z that will be compressive because load is compressive on z axis. From volumetric strength we can find out volumetric strength in this formula. We got this one. We can find out dV in multiply by 5, just V. Okay, first part complete. Second part saying what will be the value of load in z direction due to that dV equal to 0. What will be value of T due to that dV will be 0. Second part question, second part saying, for that we can use this formula. Okay, here simply put dV equal to 0 in place of here, in place of sigma x, sigma y already calculated, sigma z is unknown, so keep sigma z. So if this will be equal to 0, that means sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z will be equal to 0. From that we can find out sigma z equal to sigma x plus sigma y, but opposite in direction, sign will be opposite, then volume will be, change in volume will be 0. Okay, so here from here you can find out sigma z equal to minus 80 plus 160 equal to 240. We got this unit of this one is Newton per mm square. Okay, Newton per mm square. So load in z direction equal to sigma z into area in z axis. You can find out that will be here 240 into first check the area how given us in z 250 mm into 100, 250 into 100. From that we can find out this will be how much, 6 into 10 to power 6 Newton per, sorry, Newton only because mm already cancelled. 6 into 10 to power 6 Newton, that will be 6 mega Newton. This is required answer. But here we are getting sigma z is negative, so this will be negative and this will be negative, this will be negative, means this will be compressive load. Compressive load will be minus 6 mega Newton. Let's go to the next question. Okay, let's complete. Read this question. A bar of rectangular section shows in figure is subjected to stress rho x, rho y, rho z in x, y and z direction respectively, shows that if sum of stress is 0, there is no change in volume of the bar. Okay, it's saying if stress rho x plus rho y plus rho z equal to 0, d will equal to 0, we need to prove this one. You can use rho, or also if given us in question given us rho, so you can use rho x, rho y, rho z. Otherwise you can use sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z equal to 0. Both are stress. Okay, stresses. So for that we need to, because we know dv equal to epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z. From this formula we can find out volumetric strain. Okay, a stress P produce strain in magnitude P by E in direction, and a strain mu P by E of opposite nature at right angle to the direction. Already explained in lecture number 2. You can see that one. From that we found this formula. We need to add all these three to find out volumetric strain. Then here same thing. Okay, after adding we will get this one. So volumetric strain equal to this much. From here you can see if this will be equal to 0, automatic dv will be 0. Hence if rho x plus rho y plus rho z equal to 0, ev equal to 0. It's proved. We need to prove this one only, no?